So Wenda, in the last 2 or 3 years, what have been the biggest changes in either the way media is being bought or just in the whole media buying process that have been somewhat surprising to you?
Well, I think, perhaps not surprising, but important, and I'm very happy about it, is I think, we lived for so many, many years in silos. You bought television or you bought radio, magazines, newspapers, outdoor. I think what is very exciting right now is that people are beginning to understand that the consumer is not cardboard, and she's always going to consume lots of mediums, and he's going to consume lots of mediums, and to think that you can buy and really create a relationship with the consumer buying in those silos it's not really very logical. And so the fact that buying is now crossing the channels, crossing the silos, that we have people who are experts in all of those areas talking to each other and thinking about the consumer as one person, I think that's a change that, if not surprising, only surprising that we're now able to do it. It looked like we were never going to be able to do it from a structural standpoint. That, I think, is a big change in the last few years, and that's very exciting.
So those breaking downs of silo, are they occurring primarily in the buckets that already exist? You typically hear about a brand budget and a direct response budget, and they barely talk to each other, except at perhaps the CMO level where they think about it more holistically. Do you feel like even those walls are breaking down?
Well, I think there's a lot more respect for what we call performance marketing now, measurable marketing. I think there's still a lot of misunderstanding about language in our business, particularly the term ROI. In the brand world, there are 11 different categories of ROI according to the members of the ANA. So I think there are language differences. People think that, ROI, well, I think I can just use the same metrics we use for classic direct response on branding. You can't. They are still distinct disciplines, and performance isn't a direct marketing characteristic alone. You need to perform for brand advertising. It just depends on what you're measuring. But I think what has come together is not necessarily, the fact that, they're all blending, it's one thing. I think what has become common is our need to be able to measure them and really make branding accountable. But it doesn't mean it's measured by the same metrics that direct marketing is. But I think there's a lot more appreciation for measurement and performance and for accountability. So I think all the walls are breaking down. And whether it's the silo of a channel or the silo of branding and direct marketing, I think there's a lot more appreciation for the art and the science of all of these issues and opportunities that we have.
Well, of course, the holy grail will be where everyone acknowledges that a budget that might have been called the direct response budget lifted some of those branding metrics, and a budget that might have been called branding lifted some of the metrics that would have been considered direct response metrics.
To make it all work. To make it all work. I mean, that was kind of my point before about the consumer's not cardboard. She doesn't just shop in a store. She doesn't just shop online. She doesn't just place orders from a catalog over the phone. The consumer doesn't just watch TV or use the internet, or read a magazine. It's not a just anything. So everything has to work together, and I think there's a lot more appreciation for that these days in our business.
So do you think media mix modeling will continue in its hype as far as the econometric models that people are trying to build to really understand the marginal value of every piece of media that's being purchased throughout a media buying cycle?
I think that will become more important. I absolutely do. It's what is the mix? What is the optimal mix? And we've been talking for so many years about integrated marketing and intelligent integrated marketing. You haven't really seen too much of it.
No,
what you see,
barely any,
right? What you see, I'm with you. What you see is major media companies bundling assets to create volume to incent price. But that isn't intelligent integrated marketing. It doesn't tell you anything about the appropriate media mix. So intelligent integrated marketing, we're just at the beginning of that. So I think econometric modeling, what is the optimal mix? And what is intelligent integrated marketing? We're just at the very beginning of that. I think we're going to see a lot more of it.
Well, we're both looking forward to it.
Yeah.